up and down the roster. Was there anything you noticed about that as it evolved throughout the game?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what we've been preaching all year, to share the basketball, play for each other. I thought in particular tonight, when we got to the paint, we made better decisions than we've been doing the last few games. But we've been sharing the ball like this for some time. We just haven't been knocking down shots from the perimeter, and I think you saw that tonight, along with some other finishes at the rim.
Frank, the bench tonight was, obviously very effective and efficient. In theory, you should be shorthanded given the guys that were out, but having Kuz and THT and Trez there. Anything with that trio specifically that you saw?
Well, they all played great. We sprinkle in a starter with the second unit, and we threw them off a little bit with the zone. Their second unit has been playing well, so we threw some zone at those guys and were able to go on a run in the second quarter. But Talon, Kuz, and Trez all had terrific nights, scoring the ball, making the right plays, extra passes, and our whole group defended at a high level.
Just to focus on THT for a second, Frank, it seemed like there were a couple of weeks where he was a little down before the break, as you may expect. Is there anything that you've seen in his game or his mindset, over the break that had him get a kind of a breakout performance like tonight?
It's tough to say, and we're always on him just to make sure he's making great decisions in the paint. He's got a unique ability to get in the lane, and he's figuring out the length of the NBA game. When to go for his finish. He's got great English on his spin shots at the rim. But sometimes he forces in there, and we've been on him to just make sure he's making great decisions once he gets to the paint. So continue to live in the paint, and as you see with the 10 assists tonight, you saw he made great decisions.
Yeah, Frank, just following up on that. Last year, obviously, Talon played, and you sort of used his length defensively, and that was sort of the reason for a sub. Are you seeing more areas where you could trust him in a playoff series to play rotation minutes?
Oh, for sure. I mean, just the amount of minutes and, opportunity that he's gotten this year. He didn't have this under his belt last year. He joined us in the bubble. Basically haven't played most of the season in the G League, and had very little experience. So to throw him in there in a playoff series just showed the type of confidence I had in him. But it's a whole nother level now, of course, with him basically being a rotation player all throughout this season.
Dan?
Hey, Frank, with Trez and the way that he gets his offense or can get some of his offense, how much of that is just feel with other players and kind of him finding spaces and other players kind of getting used to where he's going to be? And have you seen any growth in that maybe over the last 10 games or so?
Yeah, well, it's just one of those things that, players have to learn each other. There's relationships that have to be built and grown throughout the course of the season. And, I think our guys are learning that, and, they're growing in that regard. And then he's got a unique ability to, like you said, to find space in the paint. And he's a great finisher, and he's a great catcher, of all types of, pocket passes and extra passes that our guys are making to him. He catches everything, finishes everything. So, you saw what he had, in terms of his performance tonight, 11 for 14. That's just indicative of what we're talking about.
Dave?
Frank, considering what some of your roster has gone through this year with injuries and alike, how important has Montrezl Harrell been for you guys, the consistency he's provided? And as you mentioned, it's all new to him, but still being able to produce as he learns what you guys are all about.
He's been invaluable. He's been a big part of our success this season, especially with Anthony and Mark being out. We've leaned more heavily on him than we were earlier in the season. And, it's been a good thing for him and for our guys to, like we talked about a minute ago, just get a feel for what his game is like, how to deliver the ball to him and take advantage of his skill set. But he's been a consistent performer. He's a gamer. He's just, you can ride him for long stretches of the game without a rest. And, it's been just a real positive for us this season.
Bill?
Frank, what has Trez been like as a culture fit? And what do you think that would be like coming into a place where the culture is so incredibly established with what LeBron and AD do? And then he's coming from a place where culture was kind of their whole thing. How is that meshed? And did it maybe take some time?
I don't think it's taken time. I think he's been a great culture fit here, for our group. And, I don't know, I can't speak on what his situation was like last year. But he's very well liked by our guys in the locker room. He cares. He's got a great high care factor for what we're working on, and he really commits to trying to get it right. Whatever it is, whether it's spacing or or defensive concepts or whatever. I actually thought the last game that we played was one of his best growth games defensively for what we're asking him to do. And I think this extended time with Anthony Mark out, is really helping him in that regard.
All right, we've got time for two more. Jovan?
Hey, Frank. You guys had 68 points in the paint, which is the second most you've scored this season, and then you had the season high 36 assists. I'm curious what you thought of the passing, specifically some of the interior passing, where you guys had a lot of those dump offs for dunks and fouls and stuff.
Yeah, we want to be an extra pass team, and a lot of them, we talk about paint to greats and finding three-point shooters, and we did that at a pretty high level tonight, and we rewarded the great passing. But, the dump-offs in the paint, there were more tonight than typical, and we just want to make great decisions. We want to get a high shot quality, every time down the floor, and we did that tonight for sure. We shot 63% from the field overall.
Last question, Andy Kamenetsky.
Frank, McKinnon got some early run in this game, which hasn't been typical for the season. When he's in, what are you specifically looking for?
Well, he's got to play in our system. That's all we talked about all year is, how to execute our offensive system, our defensive schemes, what our rules are. And, that's what he's being asked to do when he gets in there is to provide defense. Perimeter shooting is not going to be a primary offensive option for us. Like many of our guys are, they play off of LeBron and AD when he's in there, and Dennis. And, I think he's gotten a great feel without a lot of run for picking up what we're asking him to do.
All set, Frank. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.